In 1962, India and China went to war high in the Himalayas. The Ladakh region, sandwiched between the Karakoram and Zanskar mountain ranges, lay at the heart of the conflict, with most of the fighting occurring more than 3,000 meters above sea level. Both nations have overlapping claims to parts of the region, and even though the allies and tools available have changed dramatically, one reality remains. War in the mountains is a complicated business. High-altitude warfare relies heavily on one thing: mobility. Roads, resources, specialist soldiers, and a strong air force to back them up are a huge advantage. India's military, however, is in dire need of modernizing. Its air force is old and seriously under strength. This was highlighted in 2019 during a tense standoff over Kashmir, when Pakistani jets easily shot down an antiquated Indian MiG-21 aircraft, much to India's embarrassment. This was a wake-up call for India's military, which has begun to rapidly update its air force with aircraft from France, Russia, and the United States. Its traditional focus on armor, using heavy tanks, no use in the Himalayas, has also had to change. Instead, it has begun to stockpile resources and troops high up on the Debsang Plains, a focal point for any potential conflict. A large Indo-Tibetan border police force of 89,000 troops has been recruited, all specialists in high-altitude warfare and guerrilla operations. China, however, has a serious advantage. With high-speed rail links close to the border, it's been able to build metal roads and heated accommodation, protecting its troops against the winter temperatures, which can sink to below -30 degrees centigrade. This infrastructure will allow them to transport water and food far more easily than India's forces. What China really lacks is experience. In 1979, China invaded Vietnam, withdrawing after 3 weeks, having suffered tens of thousands of casualties. This was the last major conflict China has fought, and its army has very little experience in active combat. India, by comparison, has fought 4 wars since its clash with China, including the Indo-Pakistan cargo conflict in 1999 and the clash over the Siachen Glacier, the world's highest battlefield. Both gave India valuable insight into the challenges of high-altitude warfare. At these heights, higher than any European mountaintop, the weather soon becomes the biggest danger. Guns jam and engines won't start. The thin atmosphere means that helicopters can only lift a fraction of their normal loads. Soldiers are constantly struggling for oxygen, and the high winds make hypothermia a real danger, with resupply flights often being cancelled. Better cold weather clothing for troops has been bought, and air defense missile batteries from Russia and drones from Israel have been added to their arsenal. These, coupled with realistic training and hard-won experience from previous conflicts, help level the battlefield in India's favour. India has the added advantage of 21 satellites keeping watch overhead, at least half of which are for image and intelligence gathering. This, together with the imagery intelligence India is also receiving from the United States, is essential for getting a clear picture in the remote and mountainous areas of Ladakh. Both India and China are shoring up their weaknesses and readying for a fight. India is rearming itself at a breakneck pace, but it now faces a new, motivated China that is no longer content with the status quo. With no clear strategic winner between the two, a large-scale war in this region could be drawn out, with the potential to drag their neighbours into the conflict, threatening to upset the balance of power that has existed for decades.